5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Buckus, can you describe in one sentence the rotators or the IPA employee? I mean, would you call them like rental experts that you bring in? Just the shortest possible description for me.
Of what they do or who they are?
Both.
Okay, so they're typically leaders and scholars from around the country, and they provide two things for us. They provide an infusion of new, creative, leading-edge thought, as well as function to perform some of the functions.
But so they're part-timers you bring on?
No, they're full-time employees for a short period of time.
For a short period of time, okay. Can you give me an example of one or two of them that you think are especially valuable and what they do?
Okay, well, so let me be personal because I've done all the, so I've been a program person.
No, not you. Give me another one. Use another one.
Okay, good, because I don't like to talk about myself. In the case of, say, one of our leaders who comes from a major institution, it was a dean, leads now one of our major directorates, has moved that directorate into different areas that weren't before, has even taken employees.
Okay, that's esoteric platitudes. Anything really specific you can tell me?
I think we're looking for leadership, and that's leadership.
Well, you can say that about anybody. In March 2013, it was stated that the NSF paid 54 IPAs salaries exceeding the federal executive pay limit of almost $180,000, which is about probably 5 times the average annual wage in my district, which is the highest salary earned by federal employees at NSF, including presidential appointees. Of these 54 IPAs, the NSF paid 34 a salary of over $200,000 in annual salary and over $300,000 to an assistant director. Do you believe that was appropriate compensation?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What procedures does NSF have in place to properly assess the cost-to-benefit ratio of these high-dollar rental people or temporary people?
So NSF over the years has done a number of independent studies by various organizations. NAPA, OPM, GAO have all done assessments of our program, and they have recommended changes, just like Lerner has recommended. At the same time, they've given very positive remarks about the program.
Okay. 54 IPAs earned a salary over the federal executive pay limit. Do you believe that's fair to the NSF's own employees who cannot receive compensation that exceeds a pay grade of almost $180,000?
So remember the reason why we bring them. We bring them to do function, and we bring them to do leadership and forefront activities.
I know they have talent that your own people don't have, presumably.
No, they have different talents.
Oh, okay. I was surprised to find Mrs. Lerner's revelation that the temporary employees you bring in are responsible for making award funding decisions. Can you tell me if any of them had any hand in awarding these grants? $340,000 to study human set fires in New Zealand in the 1980s. $227,000 to study pictures of animals in National Geographic magazine, $200,000 to study Turkish veiling fashion industry, $1.5 million to study pasture management in Mongolia, $50,000 to study civil lawsuits in Peru in 1600 to 1700, $200,000 to study gender bias in Wikipedia pages, $164,000 to study Chinese immigration in Italy, $170,000 for 2 studies of native peoples basket weaving in Alaska, $487,000 to study textiles and gender in Iceland from 874 to 1800, the Viking era, $136,000 to repatriate recordings of traditional Alaskan music from the 1940s, $50,000 for stem cell education in Sri Lanka, $15,000 to study gender and fishing practices at Lake Victoria, Africa, $147,000 to study international marriages between France and Madagascar. And you know, pages here, but can you tell me if any of these temporary employees were responsible for funding any of those projects? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes or no?
I cannot tell you who has funded those, but we surely can get you that information, whether they're federal employees or rotators.
But they would have, rotators would have responsibility to fund crap like this, right? I mean projects like this, excuse me.
Could fund projects like that, yes.
Thank you. I see my time's up, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.